change is you can't shoot mortars from buildings. So your guy in J1, I don't know.
Well, I actually had a question about line of sight and things like that.
Yeah.
So this may be a good time to chat about it before we do this. So, if I am reading the scenario correctly,
Mm-hmm.
all of the islands are level minus 1.5.
Yes. The islands,
So,
they're treated as shoals, and it basically.
so none of this is there essentially. Like,
Yeah, so if you were to aim from O5 to H8, you wouldn't have any hindrance. Like we wouldn't count it. You kind of get a good idea for it if you check O5 to K7. It shows that it's blocked, and that's because the marsh in this instance has to, like, it would be a level, say 1, and the water's level 0, so it's blocking it. Technically K7 level -1, but whatever.
okay, all right. So,
Yeah, it's just basically, from what I can tell, is that it's just kind of a pain for units to go through, as well, specifically the boat, but that's about it.
well, it's more the boat may get swept into it. I don't think I'm going to deliberately steer into it, but since the boat is ridiculously slow,
Yeah, that's like the other thing. It being 2 movement factors is kind of crazy.
yeah, it's two movement factors. It's going to get swept downstream 2 hexes. Basically, every advanced phase it gets swept down. Because it's not motorized, it's random which hex it goes into if there's a choice.
Oh, that's why. Okay, I was curious as to why you picked what you did or where you put it.
Yeah, so this at least gives me a chance to kind of get this. Is this an island?
Um, See, I wouldn't treat it as such, but honestly, we could play it as it is. I think if we had, this is one of the few times where playing online and cropping the boards is detrimental, because if you had the real boards, you could see them and you'd just be like, oh yeah, no, that's
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, I don't care if this is or is not an island. I mean, I really don't. It doesn't bother me one or the other. I just want to know.
I'm
So
fine treating it as an island, to be honest. Like there's if we look at the map, like P3 is water and it does connect with whatever would have been off board, so I'm fine with calling that spot an island.
okay, so I'll treat this whole thing as just the shoals in addition to that. So all right, that simplifies things a bit. Okay, I've moved my mortars, so they should be good. This has 2 movement factors and 24 PP, not 14.
Yeah.
Um, the 2 stars mean that it is a very small target, I think. Small or very small, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, 2 stars is always super strong. Although, frankly, I don't know if there's gonna be even a point to shoot at the boat. That's gonna be also another interesting dilemma.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. This is going to be kind of a crazy one. I
Mm-hmm.
honestly have no idea about my defense. I could have screwed myself. I could have not. It will all be fun to see. My mortar is going to run out at some point.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that. That's a very interesting design scenario design.
By the way, I picked the British mortar because I could not find any 76s for either the Chinese or the Russians, which was interesting.
Oh, it's probably this one, to be honest.
Which one is that?
Uh, so that would be the Stokes. Is probably the same one. To your breakdown's different. That's better.
Oh, yeah, no, that's good.
If I look at
All right, yeah,
Russian.
you know what? I don't know how I completely missed that. My apology.
No worries. Let's see if we can find it here. Because at worst, yeah, we'll just
I got it. Yeah, I got it already. Yeah, it's already there.
Also, did not want to change cover arc, but I do want to show it.
Yeah, do they have covered arcs?
Yes, guns always have covered arcs. The one major difference, or the one I guess like exception to that, or partial exception, anyways, is if it's like an AA mount, they typically have 360-degree, so they're less. They they still have covered arcs. They just aren't punished as heavily in general.
It's still bottom right corner for a covered arc, right?
Yeah, it's always where the gun is technically pointing on the counter. Where are my rules? Where's my rule?
All right, then I want to put him here instead. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, frankly, it's mostly going to be learning, just because like we haven't done mortars in our games all that much, so.
Yeah, I don't think ever. We've had guns, but I'm not sure we've actually ever had mortars.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. It would have been a long time, so. I'm just gonna see while you're changing stuff. I'm just gonna see if there is a specific mention for the mortar, because it says quick setup only, and I'm just curious if that's the only thing about it. Yep. All right, cool.
So my breakdown number is currently 11.
Yeah.
So lowering it to X6 means it's eliminated on anything 6 or above, correct?
Yeah. But that's after the first 3 2 hits.
Yeah. But my luck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least like the breakdown is only 11, so on a breakdown is different from elimination. So at least there's that. Obviously, we're gonna break our stuff because it's us. But yeah, it's interesting because it also says like third to hit attempt, which the interesting part of that is there's a rate of fire of 2. Rate of fire doesn't say like it's still not the same to hit attempt. You know what I mean? So
yeah. So if you get rate, well,
the best way to
that's the call, you know.
Yeah, like the best way to look at it is you have 3 shots. Is how it would really go. The only other thing is concealment, which I think I'm the only one to get anything out of it, and I think the only thing I get is like these guys, this guy, and I think that's it. No, your boat would see these guys. So I'll just conceal these 2. There.
Ugh. I'm still not quite sure why they've included board 41, but you know, hey.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like one of those things where maybe they just want to make it easier to transfer from one side to another. So instead of going through all the woods, you've got a little bit open ground, or I don't know.
I got nothing but crew and machine guns. Who's gonna move?
I don't know. Like the only other thing I can think of is like it's thematically correct. You know what I mean? Like you want to show both sides of the river, but yeah, it's just kind of weird.
All right, I think I'm up first. Yeah.
Correct.
All right, no weather change. I don't believe I have any rally actions. Oh, yeah, there's nothing mortar related in the rally turn, is there?
Is there anything? Let's see. This is actually a good time to bring up the ASL, the Advanced Sequence of Play. I don't think there's anything special for you to do. I don't think you can deploy.
Yeah, I mean, it's already deployed. The only question would be whether, like, I have to do, spotting or something ridiculous. Or I shouldn't say
No,
ridiculous, but,
no.
like, just
When it comes to mortars, spotting is something. It's something like completely different from what. Um, Maybe not completely different from what you might expect, but it's different enough that it kind of like takes you aback when you learn about what spotting actually does.
yeah, I mean, in this case, it's just going to give you a -2.
Um, well, so spotting is more like so we'll go. We'll do an example here. We've already got one. So let's take this mortar and we'll put it in the woods here, and we'll say that there's a guy with a crew with it and whatever. Spotting, how it works is you would have, say, a guy in G8, and G8 would be a spotter for G9. G9 can't see, for example, H4. It can't see I3. And the reason for that is because it has the hedge in the way, right? So the benefit of having a spotter is that your spotter is the guy who can see for them. It's one of the only interactions in the game that does this. Mortars, it kind of what makes mortars even more unique than other guns, and the downside is I think it's +2. It could be +1. I forget the exact number.
It's +2.
+2, and I want to say it's affected by leader modification. It's been a while since I left it spotting, but essentially, that's the bonus. The other thing that kind of never really comes up, just because it's hard for like this, there's just not a lot of opportunities. Is we don't have one here, but let's say the G8 was a church and it had a pulpit. Height does not matter. You don't have to be. You don't technically have to be adjacent. You just have to be in a adjacent hex, which is the other like huge benefit is that you can give yourself a lot of line of sight if you have something like a tower or a pulpit that you can.
Yeah, you got a steeple or something you guys have. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. The reason I say this is because I get to apply the modifier, and since my dude is basically stacked with the mortars, whatever line of sight the mortars have is what the spotter is going to have in this case. So he's not an adjacent hex, so they don't get the +2. They just get his -2.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's a special rule for this one. So.
Yeah, it's just normally he wouldn't. You wouldn't have any issue regardless. Like you always can get the or you should always be able to get the minus the leader modification.
Yeah.
So,
the other question I have is: do boats have facing? Are they like vehicles?
technically, yes. It more so for like I don't think boats specifically in our case will matter. It will, I guess, for when you drift. But the most important thing is more landing craft, because where you're facing is the hex side or whatever that you're going into, which also affects like how you're going to be dropping your ramp and how that affects it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up E-chain.
Where's my base? That's it. Yeah, cool. That's right, Panza. Boats, boats, boats. Sadly, there's not more boats, but that'll come in due time.
Yeah, there's literally one boat.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually. With like Juno Beach and shit.
All right, so rally phase, nothing. Prep fire. Oh, this is going to be fun. I will start with the guys in the back, I believe. F2 or 7F2 is going to fire at, what is that, G10?
Yeah.
Range is 8, line of sight is good. It is leader directed, so 8 firepower. Down 1.
Mm-hmm. 6, I think, is a 1 MC.
6 on 8, yeah, 1 MC. I'm not going to be able to see these guys up here, am I? The mortar will fire at this guy.
Sounds good.
Range is 14. It's not blocked because those are all shoals.
Yeah, the only thing to check is what the numbers are. Because I think all Chinese use red numbers. Chinese ordnance use red to hit numbers, yeah. So 14 will be in the 12 to 16 range, I think it is. 13 to 18, sorry. It's area target type because it's a mortar, so you need an 8 to hit, and you got a -2. And we have to be cognizant. It's like, let's just be able to use it. And of course not.
Well, it simplifies things. That's for sure. Okay.
Do we have a counter for this?
For what?
I'm gonna put a counter next to your gun just so we know how many times you've shot with it.
All right. Yeah, no worries.
Shot count? Does that fit? Sweet. I can't put size. Cool. All right. Well.
All right. The unit in J10 will fire at the first line infantry in I2.
Okay.
Hero will be included, obviously. So
yeah, so it's a 6 flat.
6 flat.
Yeah. +1 for height and -1 for leader. 7 out of 6, I think, is normal.
Yep.
All right. Well, ELR and break.
The unit in K10 will fire at the conscript there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's going to be leader directed, but it's a 3 down or up 1.
Yeah. Just hitting trees. This is what it is.
The squad and the LMG here will fire at the pair of conscripts there.
Yep.
So that's going to be 7 up 1.
Up 3 because the stone.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought it was 1, but yeah, 7 up 3. So 8 on 7.
Pintask maybe.
Yep.
Sweet. Both. Okay, now they're passed. Cool. Well, as long as they don't disrupt, I guess. I'll be thankful.
And I think that's it for prep fire.
All right.
Movement. Toot toot.
Is that like, how much movement is it? 1 per hex?
I think so, right?
Sweet.
Water. I'm trying to think. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know. Boats. Assault boats. Where's movement? Overland movement. No. Movement phase. Terrain can be used to power 1/4 of the boat's water. Yeah, it sounds about right. Water movement. Once in the water, sufficiently manned boats may move during the movement phase. Hexes up to their movement. Movement points. So yeah, 1 per hex. Unless there's something about like heavy or something, a heavy drift, whatever. But I don't.
No, the heavy current just means that it
drifts.
moves. It drifts in both your advanced phase and my advanced phase instead of just my advanced phase.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the fun bit there. All right, so they have moved. Let's see. These guys will assault move into the house. And the leader will assault move into M10.
Okay.
Sorry, any fire on them?
No, you're good.
All right, I think that's it for movement. Defense fire.
All right. Well, let's start with N1's gonna shoot back. It's gonna be a 6-up 1. Absolutely not. Shoot those guys or these guys. Actually, yeah, never mind. L1 will shoot at K10 as a 3-up 1. 6 on 3 is a fantastic, yeah. I mean, I guess you can't advance away, so that's always a bonus. The mortar in E3 is going to shoot at F2. Now, there is something to... I assume you know. If you don't, my apologies. So normally there'd be a +1 for woods, but that's for direct fire. Mortars in woods actually generate a -1 instead. So essentially, it just means that being woods sucks if you're being shot at by mortars. It's okay, because I also break my mortar, and we're on a roll, baby!
Yep.
Why even talk about what the mortar could or could not do when you just rolled 12s and 11s? Damn.
God help us when we get to Stalingrad.
Oh my god, you have no, like, it'll just be Stukas bombing all the Germans. It'll be friggin' rocket artillery. It just annihilates Russian troops.
Oh no, I'm just gonna say we're gonna have like half the support weapons on the board are gonna malfunction the first turn.
I mean, yeah, that too. Yeah, that's it for my defensive fire.
Advanced fire, none. No, well, you might. No, you don't have to route, but you have the possibility if you want to do it.
Yeah, my routes, I don't technically have to route. I need to route with I2, so they'll go to, excuse me, to J2. But otherwise, the guy in G10 can stay there, and that is what they shall do.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, advance phase. I'm going to do my advances first, and then do the drift, if that's cool with you.
Oh yeah, sure.
So that stack will there. because it's random.
Drift. River, B21, current heavy.
1 to 3 lower hex coordinate, 4 to 6 higher hex coordinate.
Drift hex of all power, abandoned boats and abandoned. I love the idea of abandoned boats. It's like, oh man, can't wait for that to be in play.
So I'm picking between N3 and N4 here.
Yep, sounds good.
So that is the higher one.
So you're going the direction you want to.
Yep. So yeah, that works out. I think that's it for my advances. No close combat. Over to you.
Well, same old weather. Damn.
So close.
So close. One day, gusts in heavy river with snowfall.
We did have it once, and it didn't matter because we couldn't have fire.
I remember that. All right. Rally phase. I got 2 rallies to do. There's a leader here. I shall reveal him just so you see him. 7-0. But he will be cloaked regardless, since nobody can see him. So rally attempt with him does not work. My crew in G10 have self-rally. They will not self-rally. And I will attempt to repair. All right. What a useful tool.
Yeah, I will try to repair mine as well. And fail.
Alright, well, I got a 227 that's raring to die now.
George! Learn how to swim!
Alright, prep fire. Do I want to do anything prep fire? Probably not. No. Movement phase. Alright, this is where things are gonna get crazy here. Alright, first and foremost, the conscript squad in H10 is going to assault move into I-10.
Alright, the unit in the house of K9 is going to fire him.
Okay, so it's a 3 down 1.
8 on 3 is nothing, I suspect, yeah.
Yeah. And 1 residual. I will then do the first line squad in H1 will assault move into I1 for 2 moving factors.
Okay.
The conscript squad in L1 goes to L10 as an assault move.
Alright, the unit in K10 will fire at them.
Okay.
So that's going to be 6 up 1.
Yeah.
Nothing.
2 residual. I have 1 concealed squad. I have to clone this. 1 concealed squad will assault move into J1.
Okay.
The unit in K2 will assault move to K1.
Decisions. The unit in K10 will fire again.
Okay.
God damn it.
So it'll be 3 up 2. Anything else?
Hold on, I'm just checking to see.
Yeah, of course.
No, it's all right.
All right. The squad in L2 will normal move to K2 for 1.5. And if nothing, goes to K1 for 3.5.
Okay.
Oh, he's conscript. I believe he has a CX. So he'll CX. I forgot how crap. Damn. The one squad in N1 will bypass into M1, N0 for 1.
I was gonna say I don't think I can see you.
Yeah, and continues into M10 for 3.
Okay.
Second unit does the same thing.
All right.
The conscripts in O1 will bypass N0, N1, and then continue to M1 for 3.
All right.
The units in M2 will assault move to M1 to retain concealment. The 6+1 in P1 goes to O1 for 2, continues to N10 for 4. And last, and I guess not least, the crew in E3 will go to F3 for 1, G3 for 2, H2 for 3, and I2 for 4.
All right.
I think that is it for movement. Defensive fire.
Okay, the machine guns in F2 will fire at the unit in I-10.
Okay.
Line of sight is clear, range is not. So it's going to be 8 flat, I believe.
Yeah.
Or no, I'm sorry, 8 down 2, because I'm leader directed.
Oh, yeah. If he's directing, sure. Should be 1.
7 on 8 is 1 MC.
Just, pin 6. I do not. It's there.
The squad in L9 is going to fire at M10 by itself, so that's going to be a 10 up 1.
Sounds good. 10 might still be a PTC.
10 test check. Okay.
Alright. Task checks away.
Passed them.
They both passed. Sorry, the only reason I UD was like, did we? Yeah, I did put sand stuff. Okay, cool. I was worried.
And the LMG leader directed will fire at these guys.
Okay.
So that's going to be a 4 flat.
Yeah.
7 on 4 is fantastic.
Fails.
And then our happy troops here in J10 will fire at the conscripts in K1.
Okay.
So that is going to be a 12 up a 1.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm getting... I'm
normal
saved
morale
by
check.
this. Normal morale, alright. Both break. And the top guy ELRs. Which means he's disrupted. Also flip, disrupted.
And that's it.
Alright. Advance war phase. I have to double check disrupted real quick. Because if I remember correctly, is it just open ground or any that they're adjacent? Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have some surrender, which sucks. Is there... Buildings ground level, moderate breeze. No, okay, cool. So there will be surrender. Alright. How do I want to do this? I feel like I've suddenly forgotten and I need to double check. I do have fire groups, yeah. Yes. Okay, cool. Who do I want to shoot first? Alright, well, let's do L10 and M10 will both shoot at L9. So we're looking at 7 up 1. Pretty sure that's nothing. That's fair. Those guys are broken. We will do I2, I1, and I10 will all shoot at J10. So it is 1.5, 4.5, 5.5 up 1, 7 on 5 PTC. Okay, I'll take it. And I don't have any other shots. Route phase, the disrupted squad in K1 has to surrender. So you have a choice to make.
Let me check. Huh. No, I don't think so. We'll declare no quarter.
Sounds good. So they will go there, and disruption goes off. Where's that counter? Info. There we go. All right. So that's that. K1 has to route, so they can route to K2. Actually, no, they can't.
When they route to L1?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. They can't see anybody else. There is a leader there, so yeah, they'll go to M1. And that's it for routes, I think. Advance phase. I mean, we all knew this was coming.
I was gonna say, yeah, I knew it was coming, so yeah.
Yeah, I want to see just how crazy this can get. We'll toss the conscripts in there. This guy got a clone. We'll toss them here to be a nuisance. Crew. I2 goes to I1. That guy can stay there. Yeah, I think that's it. So we'll do CC. Alright, so...
Hold on. I gotta move my boat.
Oh, right.
Toot toot. Now it can drift into the shoals theoretically, so.
I mean, at this point, you're going to be in a lot of danger to not drift in shoals, really.
Well, I mean, after this turn, yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to move to. Yeah,
I mean, either you
we'll
go to
see.
R6 or O6, but O6 is a real crapshoot.
Yeah, no. I mean, you know, we'll see.
So we'll do L9 first.
All right.
Just because there is going to be ambush.
And I am partisans, so.
Yeah, so you're stealthy and you have a leader, so you get a -2. I think my guys are. They might only be considered lax at night. Let me double check. Yeah, always lax at night, so I don't think they're
They
lax.
are. Oh, it's just capture attempt.
You'll get a -2 for capture attempt if you attempt it. But actually, you know, I'm not sure if you can do capture if no quarters in effect.
Yeah, if no quarters, then yeah, no. I'm just looking at that's the only other thing that inexperience gets. I have a 3.
I have a 2. Thank Christ. So there's no ambush. I am. Well, so I guess the question is, who are you fighting with? Because I will target whatever your leader is pairing with. So if he pairs with the crew, I'll be at a 2-1. If he pairs with the squad, I'll be at a 1-2.
Well, he's going to pair with the squad, but we are all going to gang up on one of your guys.
Oh yeah, sure. So I'm at a 1-1. You'll have a -1 for your stuff. Oh, thank God!
Good job. Good job.
Yeah, my CC's been good our last 2 games. You're all against one guy, which is 7.
Not enough.
3-2,
Yeah. So, all right, we'll see how the other CC goes. But all right, so that's my squad and the leader.
Yep.
They're dead.
Then the other guys here. Now I do have a concealed unit. So I do get a -2. And that's it. This is where I roll 6. Oh. Alright, so no change. So this guy has to reveal himself. So it's a conscript squad and a first line. And I think I'm just going to do the same thing. 1-1 against both your units.
My guys are grouped together, obviously, and we're going to go against the first line squad, so we'll be 2-1.
You'll be 1-1 because you guys pinned.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So we're both at 1-1, really.
Yep, but I defend. Yeah.
Yeah, you defend at full power, which is why it's 1-1. I got nothing.
Don't you have a -2?
No. The -2 is for the ambush roll because I was concealed.
Oh, okay.
All right, so that just devolves into a melee. And that's it for. Oops, that's it for my turn 1.
No weather. Let me try and fix my mortar. Huzzah!
God damn
it. Not that it's going to help me. I think that's it for me in terms of rally. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a few. Actually, we gotta take pins off. Okay. Pins come off. This guy will go above. Could I have done anything for concealment? No. So M1, there is a leader there. They will attempt. Nope. So that goes away. Should have used it on J2. Will they rally? Nope. And will my crew rally? Nope. Damn it. That's it for rallies for me.
Prep fire. Oh boy. Let's see. My machine guns in F2. We'll fire at these guys again. So that is going to be 8 down 2.
Yep. It's still an 8, so morale check. And a pin.
I believe my mortar can fire, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, we are going to fire at M10 then.
Okay. So you'll have a -3. Unless, let me just double check. Because I'm pretty sure you have a -3. Does it say only 2 hit chart? It should say only 2 hit chart. First light. Wait, why would it not show that of all modifiers? That's weird.
Is it under terrain, maybe? I'm just thinking it's got to be someplace wacky, you know?
No. I mean, they put it in woods, but
Yeah.
I just...
It's under indirect, yeah, -1.
I just find it weird, like the case isn't there, which is strange. Yeah, so airburst, mortar fires on a wood hits containing a squadron of foxhole. The final TM is +1, +2 for foxhole, -1 for airburst. So yeah, it's with the if the leader's providing a -2, it's a -3 total. So,
Yep, and it is what do we say? Red numbers.
Yeah. And then whatever the distance is.
Yeah, range is 12, so I'm at an 8.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
You know, I'm just glad that these things get recorded and they go to the ASL gods and we can just be like, why have you forsaken us?
Yeah, I don't even know what to say at this point. Okay, the squad here is going to fire at the conscripts and the concealed guy there.
That's good.
So it's going to be a 6-up-1 against the unconcealed and a 3-up-1 against the concealed.
Yep. Yes.
So 8 on 3 is
Pin test?
nothing, and 8 on 6 is pin test check, which they pass, of course.
Nope. False. They pin. They're conscripts. They always say. I've always got pins conscripts.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I'll not complain because it could be broken. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. K9 is going to fire at the units sitting out in the open there. So they are 3 flat.
Yeah.
5 on 3.
Should be normal.
Normal round check it.
Normal. Of course. I feel like that dude with the salt, you know, the cooking guy, is the fancy salt.
Salt Bay, yes.
Yeah. Just like, no big deal. Just like conscripts in the open. Just roll 4s.
Movement. Doo-doo. Sorry, wrong way. That's 1. 2.
Wait, is turning the covered arc 1?
It's a vehicle, right?
So I'm not sure about boats. Because boats do behave differently. Drifting. Boats do not pay for vehicle covered arc changes.
Oh,
Second to last line in E 5.0.
yeah, I got it. All right, so they will move to K6, so that's 2.
Cool.
Too little, too late. I have no other movement. Defense fire.
All right. How crazy do I want to be?
Very crazy. Do it.
Actually,
I'm close to giving up on this.
Yeah, I don't actually. Well, yeah, that's right. I could shoot at the boat. What do I need to kill the boat? I guess it would be the kill number for an unarmed vehicle.
It's not ordnance. Let's see. Non-ordnance and area target attacks. Yeah. All non-ordnance attacks and area target type hits versus non-beach boats and water obstacles have the firepower halved, or actually quartered, or due to the normal halved firepower of area types, and are resolved in IFT's star vehicle line.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I'd be, if I even tried, excuse me, from M10, that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'd be halved and then quartered after that. So,
well, it's area for, so it's halved for area fire, and then it's halved again, so quarter total.
Yeah, so it'd be an eighth of of what it is, because I can't. The 3 range is garbage. Okay,
Yeah.
well, can't do anything with those guys, so that's something.
I mean, if you still have the MMG up, that would probably be a decent target for them.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I was hoping for, is the MMG would like miraculously survive the first bludgeoning, and then like, either I shoot at units here or your stack or the boat. I don't really have a spot to shoot from. Do I want to throw this away? Sure. I'll unconceal the squad that was shot at in L10, and they will both shoot at K10. So it is a 9 up 1. Nothing. Alright, good talk. Advance fire, please.
I have none. Routes. I don't think we have any routing.
No, I think everybody just dies.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, advance phase. Because I'm feeling saucy.
Oh, dude, you need to. There needs to be reinforcements somewhere.
So then we'll do that. The boat drifts in a nice direction for me. Thank you. I think that's it.
That looks about right.
So close combat. Whee!
Right.
All right, let's see. I'm going to start with J10 because this is the one that has the least potential for
Mayhem.
annihilating me. So let's see. Yeah, we'll go against your whole group there. I have 6, 9, 10. No.
Yep. Yeah, you'll have 10.
So
10 to 6, unless you're going against 1.
Nope, I'm going to go against all of them. So
Yeah.
3 to 2.
3 to 2, you'll have a -1. Are your leaders paired the way that they're stacked, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So I'll go against the hero in the 5-2-7 again with both my squads as a 1-1.
Okay, so I got a -1 here. Nothing, I think. 3 to 2. I need a 6. Yeah, that's nothing. Kill me.
No. I'm just gonna have like the crew and the conscripts, if they survive, jump in there. I hope you realize. It's just gonna be constant fighting. I hope that stack gets to like 12 units or something. Something just obscene.
Yes, and I will leave the leader stacked with the 3 there, just for giggles.
Yeah, I'll fight everybody just because it's a 1-1 for me, so easier.
We will fight one of your conscript squads, so that is going to be
2-1?
3-2, I believe.
No, if fighting a squad like everybody, it'll be a 2-1. Yeah, 2-1.
2-1. Okay, yeah, we'll combine to fight one of your squads. I guess the top squad.
Okay.
And no modifiers. Nothing. Kill me. Yes.
God. Why? This is
all right. I'm gonna. It's all right. I'm gonna concede here just because of the hilarity.
Yeah, this is the second time in a row that basically like I've won on close combat. That's nuts. Cause like, yeah, how do you? The only way to recover from this would be like.
I would have to go on such a die rolling rampage that you you would rage quit immediately.
I mean, yeah, like, well, so the thing is that the boat, right? Like, the boat can get to J8, but it wouldn't be able to unload, right?
Yes, no, it can't. Basically, I have to say I am beaching it, and then the
As you get
beaching
in,
doesn't cost a movement factor. Yeah, so
gotcha.
my next movement phase, I would either drift here or here, and then I would have to basically, if I drifted here, I could beach it there, or there, basically, depending on where I want it to go. Drifting here is actually better for me because that means I could potentially dump them off up there if I wanted to.
Right.
But yeah, beaching is part of, if you declare it when you're moving, then it doesn't cost any movement factors to do the beaching.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that would enable me to go there. But basically, all it would do is the boats would beach, but then because they're treated like a vehicle, that's all of the movement, so they can't load. So they're just kind of sitting there in the boat, but beached.
Yeah, and like
honestly, I don't know how much of an impact that would have. Yes, there's 2 medium machine guns in a squad, but the machine guns are dismantled, so
that's right.
There's at least a turn there for them to get put together and all that fun crap. So yeah, I don't know how much of an impact they would necessarily have had. I don't like this scenario. I mean,
yeah, it's kind of just like, I think the problem with it is that it's like it forces you to be super dice rolling, and like you're never going to recover the mortar, right? Like it says like, well, after the attempts, the 9-2 becomes an 8-1 and it could be used normally. Okay, but like this, the only thing you could do with him and the crew would be to like be backups in case this stack got shot and died.
yes, exactly. Like there is no reason to do that. Or if for some reason I had an extra squad that I could use to row the boat back across, you know.
Yeah.
It's I'm really kind of confused as to. I think this scenario would have been done a little bit better if the the KMT had to start a little bit further away, but you're kind of right up on top of me immediately. So it's like there's one turn of movement, and then hey, it's melee time across the whole front. I mean,
yeah, and like there's no reason not to is the KMT because I have conscripts, so they're shit. And like, the only advantage, well, the only way to mitigate their poor quality is literally just like, well, I'm gonna go in CC, and if I lose, then all right, whatever, get game. But like, you know, if you win, you kind of just
you nuke the whole thing. I mean,
yeah.
And I don't understand how I'm supposed to use the mortars. The line of sights are so awful that it's like, where the fuck am I supposed to shoot? You know, unless you deliberately set up in the open, or like I guess I could like duel your mortar up on the hill. I mean, really, like where am I going to fire? I can fire at this guy. If you move into here, I can maybe fire at you guys over here. You know, and that's not too bad. But you're really probably not going to have a lot of stuff. I mean, I guess I can wait until you've taken these things and then shell them to try and have these guys take it back. I mean, I don't know.
Honestly, I think the only good spot, or good spots, I shouldn't say one. I mean, this is G1's a really good spot. That shouldn't be discounted. L2, O3, those are also the only two other spots I would personally consider, just because O3 gets you a good view on all these hexes, and they're all victory hexes. So, there's that. But it kind of really hampers the fact that, like, the mortar breakdown number is X6. Because if the idea is to give the red Chinese the support weapon, but then, like, just take it away, like, why not just give them, say, like, one turn of guaranteed artillery? You know what I mean? Like,
Or just say you got 4 shots. That's it. Give them the leader and 4 shots, and you're done. Don't. Yeah, I don't know. The boat is interesting. Like, it's kind of fun, but they're probably going to arrive too late because they're too slow. Like, even
yeah,
with the current, you know, I mean,
yeah.
the shoals actually aren't that bad, but
the current went your direction 3 times, and, like, you're still not there, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, we're coming into turn 3, and I'll be there in turn 3. So it's literally half the game to get me over there. And that's with everything going well. That means I could have tried to force the shuttles, I guess. I mean, it's only what a DR a 12. You get bogged,
yeah.
so it's not like super likely, but still, it's enough. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it needs some tweaking. I feel like there's either not enough red Chinese to make a difference, or the setups need to be a little bit different. Like it's all like, oh, you can be within 2 hexes of the river. Well, fucking yay. That's like over here. Could I guess technically be up here because that's part of the river.
I mean,
I don't know.
that I never quite understand. I assume yes because it is part of the river, but then the problem is, like, if you set up an E1 D1, like, okay, but the victory points are here, so
I got no troops to counterattack with. I mean,
yeah,
you're literally, I got like 5 squads.
yeah, it's very strange.
I mean,
good night,
yes,
Glim.
your troops are conscripts, but when you can double them up and lose a third of them and kind of go, still have more, way more units, it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah,
I mean, to be fair, like, the your IFT rolls, I'm sure if we look at the stats, are like they're like, yeah.
oh yeah, my rolls are high across the board. My to hits were averaged 11.
Yeah,
IFT was like almost 8.
You rolled under 7 twice. I think that's indicative of how, like, garbage the IFT was.
Yeah, no. I mean, dice luck was certainly not my way, but at the same time, I'm kind of at a loss for like how do I set up? If I got to set up to protect the victory hexes, really.
I think the only thing I would have done differently, and this isn't in terms of setup, because, like I said, I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with your setup. Maybe, like, instead of starting them in N2, like, start the boat in O4, or maybe
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
But, like,
yeah, I mean, but then that sticks them over in D7, and the machine guns aren't going to move. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
it's one of those things. Like I guess, like, if you get to D7, they're in a building, so assembling the MMGs isn't so bad because then the line of fire, sure, but if because you're setting up first, as soon as you have somebody in D4, if you don't sacrifice a squad to be in D8 or D7 or wherever, then, like, I'll just put a squad in D7. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah,
it forces the red Chinese player to sacrifice more than they really ought to. And then, I mean, like I said, the only other thing I would have done differently is probably just shoot more. Like the 5.27, like, I would have probably, as I move into J1 or K1 or wherever, like, yeah, just take the 10 firepower shot. If you're not going to use it, or not necessarily going to use it.
Yeah, no, I was thinking, I was thinking I'd get defensive fire, but yeah, that's just that was just too bad for me.
But that's, like, the only thing, and frankly, like, it's such a fine line between, like, because, I mean, because I have so many units and we're so close, it's like there's a valid option between waiting for my units to bunch up, like they did in K1 and L10 when there were 2 units there, and just blasting them. Because, I mean, after all, K1, you broke both squads and ELR'd one, which forced them to die because of disruption, it's not a bad choice. Like, you didn't do anything wrong. It's just a matter of like, could you have done more? Maybe. Um, I think like
Yeah.
K9, maybe instead of shooting at I-10, you shoot at your own guys in L9. The crew was a 2-8, so you have 2 morale factors higher than my conscripts. If you win, if my rolls go terribly, all my guys break in melee, they're kind of guaranteed to die. But then you risk the chance of breaking your own crew. So there's there's positives in other options, but none of them are necessarily like great. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I mean, I think the setup I would have maybe thought about was not going into M10, just kind of doing that little wooded line there and just giving up that victory hex right off the bat, to have a little bit more solid line along the tree line there. But yeah, you're just so on top of me that it's like, and it's not like the movement is all that restricted for you either,
yeah,
to be honest. I mean, so yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
well,
I think it might be more interesting if the boat like starts out in the middle of the water, like that would be more interesting.
yeah,
Like,
what if a boat? There were 2 boats, as in 2 coins for the ferrymen. So there's 2 boats, and one boat is going this way, and the other boat is going this way. Kind of reflecting like the units on this side of the river had to get there somehow, right? And I'm sure maybe there's something in the historical record, but like, yeah, if you're relying entirely on that to make your scenario, make a better scenario. Um, because like,
yeah, I think we're hitting the failure of this pack, which is they're being very slavishly historical or trying to recreate historical stuff,
yeah,
which is doesn't always create a fun thing. Do you know they got a division across with this ferry? Like, if you read the historical thing, I think they say they got a division across, and we're like, it's not worth it, and moved the river.
yeah. Oh, come on. The valuable boat was almost lost when it became grounded mid-river, but the ferrymen managed to free it. Soon, the East Bank and the other 2 boats were in the hands of the Red Army. Fuck, just, you know what, just give them the extra boat, guys.
Like, even just give me the regular assault boat with the 14 pp, you know.
Or, well, the 4 movement is probably, like, what would make the most sense.
I mean, well, it's a giant boat with like there's only one counter. So, but if you give me 14 pp, you have to actually split up the units because there's exactly 24 pp of of troops on that boat. So
Sure.
uh, you'd have to split up the squad, and then the support weapons would go in another one. Like, that might be interesting because like you don't know which unit is on which boat. Because they're in the cloaking box, which I don't think you can see.
No, no. I think if I were to click on cloaking box, it would just bring up a blank one that only I could see. Let me actually check.
Yeah.
Cloaking box. Wow, I can see your shit? That's dumb. I mean, I guess I know, like, what it would be, but, for future reference, if you use the cloaking display, conceal your guys.
All right. Yeah. Fair enough. Good to know. Yeah, I don't know. It had the potential to be an interesting scenario, but there's just, I think, a few too many factors that, you know.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, I consider this scenario a wash. If you know, this scenario pack sometimes makes you regret things.
I don't wonder. Yeah.
Next scenario is a purely infantry one, so hurrah. Um,
Fog.
CVP, EVP, Red Army units receive exit VP by exiting off the edge. No movement restrictions. The KMT. Or no move restrictions, sorry. Underline morale. No quarter or massacre. KMT's lax. The KMT may never have more than 5 concealment counters in play. Okay, sure. Fog in effect. Yeah, I mean, this one might be interesting. We'll see, I guess.
Is it a night scenario?
No, it's just the to represent the fog. It's so thick, I guess, that like, it's hard to spot each other. We're going back to a bridge hex eventually, or a bridge scenario, so we'll see how that goes. What else is left?
I know you've had some fun with bridges. I saw the thread.
I hate skulking. That is the only thing I will add to this conversation. um, yeah. Well, I mean, if it makes you feel better, we got I think 4 scenarios left. No wait, more than that. Shit.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I mean, it's fine. They're at least quick. You know, it would be worse if it was like we were playing it to like the last bit, and then it was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah. If these were like eight turn slugfest that we were like always getting to 8 turn and like 3 sessions to play or whatever, yeah, that would be right.
Do you know what? Here's the fun part. If you play the campaign, you have to play it out.
Yeah, I would veto that rule. I'd be like, no.
Yeah. Question: underline morale. What does that do?
So underline morale basically means that you're always at ELR 5. So it if you have say 7 morale, you essentially have to roll above 12 for it to ever have any effect other than breaking you. And the other massive benefit is that if you were to disrupt, which is generally why you see why like the partisans are always underlined, is because they can't technically go a lower quality. Partisans are always 337s, and unless there's like a third party module or whatever, but they always say 337s, and if they disrupt by breaking over their ELR, they become 2 half squads. So it's a punishment in that if we're to take if we took this guy and we make a half squad, you're losing out on 1 firepower from from a full squad. You're also losing out on range, but whatever. The biggest loss really is the 1 firepower there. So I believe you can recombine without issues with the help of the leader. But that's like the main thing. It's just that they're incredibly hard to reduce in quality, which makes them important when taking any kind of shots. Like you don't have to worry about them getting captured. Essentially, it'll still happen, but disrupting is yeah. That's the like we saw in K1. Disrupting is like you don't have a choice. Like they just auto surrender, but your guys with underlying morale doesn't have that occurs.
Cool. All right. Well, we will pick it up next week with Fierce Tiger in the Fog.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It looks like there's some. That's either roads or it's trenches or like no, that's actually probably road. Yeah, so should be interesting. Especially with fog, that's gonna ruin a lot of shots either way. So, and you've got even more 5.27s, so lots of firepower.
All right. Yep. No, I'm looking forward.
All right. Well, I'll get you the save ASAP, and for the stream, we'll see you on Friday. Actually, no, not this Friday. Next Tuesday, I guess, unless someone answers my call for an opponent.
I don't know. There's a bunch of dudes getting interested in ASL in the wargame thread.
I know. Throwing them right into the meat grinder is not always a good idea.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think some of these scenarios are actually not too bad. Like, there's usually just one complicating bit.
The next scenario that I'm planning to do is Border Clash / I'm blanking on the other name. It's in the Discord. Where's the Discord? Damn it. It is called Flight of the Intruders, and they're basically on the same day and like use similar maps. And anyways, One's obviously better than the other because it's more recent and so more, well, potentially more balanced. But like it's got vehicles, it's got a ton of stuff in there that wouldn't mesh well with the new players, sadly. So fingers crossed, maybe I'll get a game. If not, whatever. It just I'll dig deeper into potentially doing solo Sassel stuff or whatever.
Oh, cool. Yeah, and there was a new Sassel thing, I think, in the ASL page.
Possibly. I know they've been tweaking some stuff, so we'll see how that goes. It would be nice just as like a change of pace and like I can just pull it out whenever and do more stream interaction with it than I normally would.
Yeah, it looks like they updated the campaign roster and the dice buttons.
Oh yeah. Cool.
All right, man. Well, have a good week, and I will chat with you next week.
Thanks, you too.
Adios.
And again for the stream, thanks for watching. Thanks for being around, and we'll see you either Friday if we're lucky. Maybe I'll test some Sassel stuff. If not, then it will be next Tuesday, and we'll be doing some more Long March from Heat of Battle. Otherwise, it'll be a scenario either from Aslock or from Le Franceur. So we'll see how it goes, and have a good night.